Salvete omnes, this is Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and welcome back to another episode of Mega Man 9. In the last episode, bottomless pits! So many bottomless pits. Also tornadoes, but not nearly as many tornadoes as bottomless pits. As much as I wish we could say we were done with instant death hazards for a while, that is not to be the case. Because it's time for the last robot master of this game, Magma Man, and he obviously resides in the lava level of the game, or fire, volcano, whatever you want to call it, and lava in video games tends to be deadly. Not all of them. It isn't in Mega Man X2, Super Metroid, or Super Mario 64, but it is here, so don't fall in it. You have these things which fly around, or fly toward you and then shoot fire, and then they just fly away. They have a shield on the front, so a lot of the time you can't really actually hit them, ow, or you can just face plant into them, that works too. And we have these little enemies here. Seems like when you're within a certain distance, they'll start jumping toward you. And this jump is actually kind of tricky, you really have to be on the edge of the platform. I mean, you can always rush jet it, I suppose. You also have these fireball shooting totem pole things. And another of these. Another one. So, these things. If the sound effect didn't tip you off, these are basically this game's equivalent of Quickman's death lasers. Except they're vertical, 2 tiles wide, and basically made out of, and they look more like lava than laser beams. And apparently, if you shoot these things from, oh, you can jump into them, yeah. Twice. Yeah, I know how to play video games. If you shoot them from behind and you're too close to them, I guess it just pings out their shield anyway. So these guys always shoot 4 fireballs in a row and then pause and then 4 more and so on. And thanks for dropping that, I could use it. But in this stage we actually have a mid-boss to deal with, which we didn't in Tornado Man's stage. I still think that overall this stage is probably easier than Tornado Man's though. It's still a decent challenge, but we don't have our jump physics being fiddled with. We don't have many single tile wide platforms. Yeah, I saw you sneaking up on me there. Rather rude. I'm not really sure what the extra difficult part of this one would be either, to be honest. Oh, we can get a 1-up there. 3, 4. And another careful jump. Go through here. And go through here. That's probably the most useless laser beam in the stage. If you stand close enough to the magma beams, which I guess they are, then you can actually see a little, like a few sparks coming off Mega Man. Like there. I wouldn't recommend trying that because, I mean, it's instant death. That, I could use that life energy, but I don't really know how I get it and get out safely, so... More of these things. I have a bad habit of jumping into lava. That too. I was gonna say getting hit by those enemies twice in a row, but doesn't matter now because we're back at the midway point. But as I said, at least this stage is easier than Tornado Man, so yeah. Still wish something would drop a 1-up though, because I'm terrible at fighting Magma Man. He's pretty much the only boss in this game where I have to use his weakness. At least out of the Robot Masters, I suppose. Well, invincibility frame tank it, I suppose. Thank goodness this game doesn't have Mega Man 1 style mechanics with lava and spikes, where you die if you touch them, even if you do have invincibility frames. Yeah, we barely have enough time to stand between these. Or enough space, rather. Not get hit by this stupid thing. You know what? I'm gonna Hornet Chaser that. Oh, of course you would go after the enemy instead of the item right in front of you. Thanks a lot. Okay, right at the edge of the platform, and there we go. Ow, forgot there was one more of those. If you're happy to just keep jumping over my head, which apparently you aren't. Excuse me. So, Magma Man. You'd think he'd be easier to deal with, because he really only does one thing. Just jump and shoot his Magma Bazooka. Jump and shoot, jump and shoot. You gotta call him Jump and Shoot Man. Unfortunately, said Magma Bazooka covers a lot of the screen, and it can be kind of a pain to avoid. One strategy suggested standing right next to him and going under him, but that doesn't always seem to work, as you saw there. Actually did surprisingly decently that time, but... Okay, one extra life. We can try this again with just a buster. But like I said, this is the only Robot Master where I pretty much have to use his weakness. Didn't even bother dodging that time. So you can stand next to him when... Okay, wait. Ah. Seems like you can stand next to him when he's below you, but yet when he's above you, you really have to be careful with the timing. But actually that seems to have been working decently, so you pretty much have to be ready to move before he does. Oh wow! I actually did it! I beat him with just the buster! No tornado blow necessary. Okay, wow, so maybe that strategy does kind of work. Especially if you don't have to deal with not taking damage. But we completed the trusty sidearm challenge, which I assume is defeating all 8 Robot Masters with just the buster. I would guess that's what it is. No, I didn't bother to look up all the challenges before the Let's Play or anything. Yeah, so we have his weapon. We got a rather stylish color scheme. And the Magma Bazooka. Apparently I can't talk today. It shoots a spread shot of fireballs, and if you charge it up, it's the only weapon in the game that can be charged, you'll get those bigger fireballs that he had, at the cost of using 2 units of weapon energy instead of just half of one. Save over slot 8 because this time, I forget exactly what I did wrong, but something. So, there we go. And we have a cutscene, because we got another special item. This is the memory... which button do I want to press? Okay, the memory circuit board. What's a memory circuit board? Are you downloading more RAM again? You can play back his memory to see why he went crazy. I'll put it on the screen. Why didn't you get those from all 8 of them? Robot. So, what are you trying to say? Interestingly, you can see all of the robots in this screenshot, except the one you defeated last, which in this case is Magma Man. I wonder if they changed the pronouns if you defeat Splash Woman last, she instead of he. I'm saying you're all going to end up in the junkyard. Of course. When we're done with our work, that's what happens. It's not just you. Millions of robots all over the world are winding up as piles of junk. You work hard for humans, and then they destroy you when you're no longer needed. Doesn't that make you angry? Just because you reached some arbitrary expiration date doesn't mean you should be scrapped. You're all still quite useful. You have a right to live. I'm going to help you. Together we'll show the world how useful you all can still be. I mean, he does have a point. Dr. Wily actually being reasonable? Perhaps you're right. We still want to be of use to people. Can you repair us? Oh, I can do better than that. I'd be glad to. You're in good hands with me. That naughty grin. It was Wily all along. No way! Hey, funny you should mention Dr. Wily, because apparently he wants his memory chip back. So yeah, all 8 Robot Masters done, so next time we will be taking on the Wily stages. So I will see you then.